session. Um, welcome to the Business Management Symposium 2025, AI at Work, Talent, Strategy, Venture, and Digital Trust. It is my honor to introduce Professor Dr. Aini Susanna Datuk Haji Arifin, one of the Malaysia's foremost leaders in AI governance, ethics, and national digital policy. With over 37 years of experience, she has shaped major national and regional initiatives, including the Malaysia National Artificial Intelligence Roadmap, UNESCO's Open Science Policy Framework, and the Asian Responsible Roadmap, AI Roadmap. She also serves as a certified IEEE lead assessor for AI ethics standards, strengthening global efforts towards safe, fair, and accountable AI. Prof. Aini has trained government agencies, universities, and industry players across Malaysia and Asia on responsible AI governance framework and policy implementation, making her an influential voice on how nations can adopt AI with trust and integrity. Today, she will speak on a crucial and timely topic, which is AI governance and ethics, building trustworthy AI system for the energy sector. Her insights, and especially vital as the energy industry accelerate digitalization, automation, and AI-driven operations, raising new questions about safety, accountability, transparency, and public trust. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming a visionary policy pioneer and champion of responsible AI, Professor Dr. Aini Susanna Datuk Haji Arifin. Please, Prof, over to you. You are welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad Kudari, for the introduction. It's quite comprehensive introduction. And also, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to all distinguished guests, and all the participants. I understand it's mainly the student of Unit 10. Yeah. So thank you to organizing committee for members for inviting me to share my knowledge on AI governance and also the principle of AI ethics, to support Unit 10 and also to support our energy sector in Malaysia. For your information, I have conducted together with UNESCO a country report, Malaysia report on AI readiness on ethics implementation last November until March 2025. It's about 6 months and 70 countries involved. Through the finding for Malaysia report, that's where I said, okay, I'm quite happy Unit 10 called me. The finding mentioned that majority of our ministry, we have 20 over ministry in Malaysia, majority of them, they don't have AI strategy. They yet to develop AI strategy, and they have limited knowledge on AI ethics and the AI impact assessment. So that is my final finding. So that's the thing that not only for Malaysia, because we also conducted 70 countries on AI governance and ethics. For Malaysia, the reason is why. So the reason is why in 2020, because we have been government focusing more on digital policy. So under digital policy, they focus on that one, not focusing on AI. So, but AI is part of it. Yeah, because when we're talking about digital, we're talking about 5 emerging technology. Government looking into blockchain, into big data, IoT, robotics, and AI. So while I did the assessment on readiness, so I cannot see a very significant finding on AI, because it's talking about digital policy. So now, based on that, based on what they call it, Malaysia have introduced Malaysia AI roadmap, so we can see a lot of changes, you know. So I hope now all the ministry, including Energy Ministry also, they have emphasized more on AI strategy. So that's at least we know where are we at the moment. So I hope based on my sharing today, this is not the right time because afternoon after lunch, everybody will be maybe, I have tried to, because this topic is very hard topic as well. I don't know how I can maintain the focus on all the participants. So if you think this event, this topic is quite important, that is good for you as well. So that if you want to implement that in future, at least I have shared with you. As a policymaker, I also be accountable, you know, to ensure all the stakeholders they're aware about AI governance and also they can implement it accordingly. Yeah? So I've been instructed, Dr. Muhammad, I only have about 2 hours. So I have to talk about 1.5 hours, and after that we open for Q&A.
Yes.
So I will stick to that instruction. So maybe I thought I prefer to have a live proactive, you know, if they don't understand the call. But since they asked me to finish off 1.5 hours, and then after that we go for the Q&A. Yeah, so I try to, I'm talking 1 hour for more than an hour. I hope everybody can pay attention then, okay, rather than proactive session. Okay, so let me share my no, can we share my, I share my slide. Yeah, so can you all see my slide?
Yes,
Yes.
Prof.
Yeah, is it okay now?
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you. So okay, okay, so our focus to AI governance and ethics, also part of the digital trust. Yeah, AI is part of digital. How are we going to build, building the trustworthiness? Because the trust is very important in AI system. Because when we develop AI roadmap, I believe in 2020 and 2021, I did conducted a survey how the people, the stakeholders, government agency, companies, and also academia, the student, based on that, only 87% they trust AI. Yeah. And then now with the what do you call it, the reason, I got a message also from the cybersecurity and also from Malaysia Royal Police stated that we have more than, for the last 8 months, we have 47,000 case on AI, on article AI, involving 1.96 billion in Malaysia. So the trust is, they really don't trust the AI, you know. So it's happening because the data is from our cybersecurity. They mentioned about 47,000 scam, you know, misuse of AI. So involving 1.6 billion. So for me, this is a thing that we have to really build the trust to ensure that everybody can adopt the AI. Yeah. So let me start. Okay, so as introduction for my for this 1.5 hours, now I'm going to focus on transformation of AI. That everybody knows that the industry worldwide, you know, has been transformed, including global energy sector, whereby AI help to enhance the efficiency, reliability, and sustainability. That they have shaped the energy, how they produce energy, how they distribute, transmit the energy, and also they consume the energy. So moving forward from that, okay, this AI is very important, play a major role to ensure that sustainable energy production and consumption meeting the global climate goals and also the SDG goals. And with the introduction of ESG as well, you know, so everybody now is talking about ESG. So AI will play a major role as well. So as everybody knows now that energy sector now increasing using digitals and automated, so it's very important now. Everybody, the stakeholders have to understand AI governance and responsible. So this one also is grow, and as we know, they use what I call it in the power plant, smart grid, renewable forecasting. They do the energy trading, you know, so they must govern. And they must govern, and they have a strong ethical principle to ensure whatever they adopt, whenever they adopt AI, is safe, the system is safe, reliable, and have increased the public trust. So this my session will provide, I believe it's very comprehensive, I try to cover all within 1.5 hours, or maybe make it a practical overview on AI, and then we can have a better. And then I look into the government strategies, how we build this trust. So I hope if your focus, when I'm deliver, so that we can have a better session. If you have any clarification, you can let me know. Yeah. So as AI has transformed not individual, organization, society, and economy, I'll share you shortly where they. So it's not more on futuristic robots anymore. They shape how we work, how we live, and how we do business, how we interact with the public, with our students, and also with our children. They change everything. So now I'm not sure whether the parents now have a good relationship with their kids when talking about AI. Yeah. So they have affecting many business sectors, and ethical and societal have impact around us in terms of safety. So therefore, AI governance is crucial to ensure the trust and compliance. So I will discuss about what we mean by compliance. Yeah. So this is the one I mentioned. Individuals, AI system influence how we are treated to our credit, our insurance, civilians, and our job as well. The automation, because all the while we use a lot of AI adoption, and how we represented. Especially those are developers, scientists, researchers, and then how we use the bias in the data and why we train the machine. So I believe for my session, I don't have to explain about what is AI, because earlier on they have covered that one. I just go straight to the ethics to the time. So for the organization, yes, organization have made smarter decision. They use AI to make decision, improve the productivity, improve the efficiency, So they are also involved the transparency, fairness, accountability. So for society, of course, AI can reshape our labor market, power structure, who control AI. Everybody asking me, Prof, who control AI? Who's accountable for AI? When looking into the transparency, talking about who will be transparent with AI system. So I will share with you the one not only for Malaysia, the one has been adopted at the global level through UNESCO and United Nations practices. So economy, of course, AI drive the productivity and a new growth of opportunities. Increase I will show you the impact of economy shortly. Yeah. So this is the one. When I ask majority of people, because I'm part of the policymaker, so all the stakeholders also come and see me. Majority, I ask them how you use AI. So majority of them also only mention about ChatGPT, DeepSeek, but you all did not notice that you have used AI since year 2020. Why I said that? Because everybody, when it happened to the COVID, everybody is using Smart Sejahtera. My suggestion, we know the real what happening, when it comes to the COVID is a real time. So that is AI. And again, like we have like our transportation. During the COVID, everybody used Grab to order, and we get our order, our services. That is also through the AI application. And Proton, example like in automotive, we have Proton, we have the Waze. So and then also we have the mobile phone. So everybody is using the Waze. They're using the Google. So Google have been introduced this for the last 10 years. So I don't know why only when they have 2024, we have the GPT that the people talking about they are using AI. In fact, they have used AI. You all have used AI. If you want to go for traveling, I believe all of you have used the booking.com, Amazon. There is also adoption of AI. You get a real information about the place, the location, and what you're going to do, and you do your planning. You do your your holidays. So this all through the AI information, the data that been gathered, that has been trained, the machine been trained to provide all the information to assist you all. So AI is an assistant to the human being, assistant to us. So same goes to the business. Climate, we are using a lot of online shopping, Shopee, during COVID. So entertainment, I believe everybody have used YouTube more than 7-8 years ago. So energy as well, the power plant have been there for the last 15 years, 10 years, all using AI. So now when people talking about AI, don't mention only ChatGPT. Please, please mention that you have used it for the last 10 years. Okay, so this is how we use AI. So I have to share with you about that. And yeah, so in energy, So in energy also they have used AI a lot in the grid automation, smart grid. They use in the carbon capture, utilization, and the storage, and all the energy. So they have used the renewable forecasting, and they look at how they're going to reduce storage optimization, nuclear monitoring, smart building, because in the plant also they have a lot of buildings. They use AI as well, to do the simulation, predictive. So I think in AI energy also they have used a lot of AI. And because why people use this, because they're like this one I just highlighted, is more, but highlighted the key benefit, either to the organization, to the country, and also to the individual. What benefit that we have just for energy sector? Because you are from Unit 10, I understand that you also look into the energy, your university, your institution looking at energy. So the 7 key benefit, they're talking about enhanced operation efficiency, cost reduction, improve energy forecasting, greater integration, batteries, environment impact, and improve customer relation. So all this one, they have the evidence, they have the use cases, not only Malaysia, because Malaysia also, we are one of the producer of energy. We are also the champion on energy sector, but all over the world have used this and they have gained the benefit from that. So whenever the lecturers, cascade down or have, this is the thing that we can convince our student when it comes to AI adoption, this is the benefit. So don't scared to use AI, because nowadays most of the student or individual, they say, oh, I don't want to use AI, but usually AI will give a lot of benefit to us as well. So because of that, when we developed the roadmap in 2019, 2020, we come out into how we're going to balance the roadmap. One, looking at the balancing AI technology development as well as AI adoption. So we want people to use, at the same time, we want our local people to develop our own AI through the localized the AI system. So we also can be the what I call it, like multinational organization. Because currently, sorry to say, Malaysia still consider a user or consumer to AI. So we have limited, maybe like energy, the company, but overall, we are still considered user and consumer of AI. So knowing that, if this is something that some inspiration to us, so doing the benefit of AI, so we can see AI market has been very huge now. They're talking about at global, talking about 739 billion revenue AI. From where? From where this 739 billion coming from? So this has been McKinsey also sourced from what I got Market Insight in August 2023. This figure, they said Asia Pacific also, we're talking about 260 billion. Can you see that? How big is it? And for the generative AI, talking about 60 billion. So if Malaysia, we are not doing about this, and we're not taking this opportunity, because how long we want to become the consumer, how long we want to become the user. So we have to move up to the technology development as well. So because of that, now we are by 2028, we're going to have more than 80 data center. So where this revenue coming from? Mainly from the using of the AI, training the system. We train the machine, that's part of revenue. Another one is from the data center. And the data center, we're talking about computing AI, and also what do you call it, quantum communication. So this is considered the revenue, the new revenue from the AI application. So how about ASEAN? So ASEAN also, we can see here, we look at this one. ASEAN is talking about 933 billion by 2030. This is talking about 2030. So because of that, we can see a lot of investor is coming to Malaysia now. They venture into various sectors, and because they want to capture this 150 billion in ASEAN. So if we are an ASEAN country members, we are not doing anything. We just leave it to multinational. So it's not fair to the country as well. So from Malaysia, number one, we're talking about by 2030 is Indonesia, talking about 367 billion, because this is not from us, this is from the Australia market survey. And Malaysia, we are number 2nd. By 2030, they mentioned about 150 billion. It's about 14%. our GDP from digital and also from AI. So I hope like energy business, they have to grab this opportunity. Yeah. So how big? Knowing that, because some of these surveys started in 2020. In 2020, MOSTI have appointed UTM. Yeah. So okay, UTM to develop a national AI roadmap. So Alhamdulillah, we are in the end of the 2025. So I'm part of the policymaker. So I've been appointed by MOSTI, Ministry of Science Technology, to be the head of the governance to look at the whole roadmap, not only develop and also help to implement this roadmap since 2020 until now. So I'm still helping the government to develop. So now we have developed now in 2025. I believe you all have familiar with this one. We look at 6 strategies. We look at establish AI governance. We look at R&D. We look at infrastructure, data, sharing data. We look at AI talent, culture, society, communication, as well as commercialization. So the 6 trust area, 22 initiative, and we have 71 action plan. I'm very happy to share with you, we have at least more than 80% we have achieved our roadmap. So we focus on 5 areas because of course we have 10 socio-economic area, but we focus on AI readiness. That is agriculture and forestry, medical and healthcare, smart city transportation, education and public service. So for this coming 2030, National AI Office, this has been established last December. We have established that together with MyDigital. So now they are responsible to look at the National AI plan. So I'm helping them to develop AI action plan. So now the plan is on is almost finalized. In fact, we have shared to the public for public consultation. So everybody here are welcome. You can comment our action plan for 2030, 2026, 2030. The closing date is on the 30th. So everybody here, you can go to the link. You can go to National AI Office Center, National AI Office. They have the action plan. So they invited everybody to give your comment, yeah, for the next 5 years. So we still maintain, for the next 5 years, we still maintain the 5 area, but we're focusing on enhancing. We are not much on development now. We want to strengthen, we want to look forward, clear direction on our policy. We want to build the digital trust. So that's why I'm here to share with you, because that is one of the core pillar. 2030, we're talking about building the trust. Yeah? And then we have to look at the investment and incentive as well. So this is the 5 area. So I'm sharing with you. Please help our nation, our country to give your input for the next 5 years. So based on the last, I mentioned to you that 80% have been achieved, and you can see where are Malaysia at the moment. I'm quite happy that, okay, this is the global, because we have to put some benchmark. Where are we at the moment? So I'm so happy to share with you, Malaysia at the world, we are number 24. It's not bad. Yeah, around 193 countries, we are number 4. So in terms of AI, we are there. In fact, of our AI readiness country report, together with UNESCO, they said we have one of the comprehensive report, and Malaysia have done a lot. So when it comes to the ASEAN, of course, we cannot now doubt. You can see here, global Singapore is number 2. When it comes to ASEAN, of course, Singapore is become number 1. Yeah? Why Singapore number 1? They have everything. So if University, you want to get, I would like to advise you, if you want to know about AI talent development, AI knowledge, talking about investment, they're talking about governance, talking about technology. Yes, Singapore, they have everything. They have started since 2016. Now they have become the global. They are number 2, ASEAN number 1, but they are very happy to help the ASEAN country, including Malaysia as well. So not that we are number 2, and then based on increasing 83, we are moving to 87, now 88, now we are 71. So we are not bad. We are increasing, okay, performance. So where are the performance? This Malaysia. We are very strong in terms of government pillars. We got 82 points. A lot of initiative. I'll share with you shortly. Where are we at the moment? This one also can apply to energy as well. And also at the one that we are, I mentioned to energy. Why? The technology. We are very low. Still consider average 54. because this the indicator is for the global indicator. So each of these, they have all the indicators, so we need to move forward on our technology sector. So energy, we have to determine what are the technology for the next 20 years, and then we have to look at the technology R&D especially, and also we have to look at the technology adoption. So data, okay, we are not that bad because we have a lot of data because the center is coming. So all over the state now, Sabah, Sarawak, Johor, Perak, Selangor, all they have their data center, and also in Kuala Lumpur. So we have more than, I think ASEAN Malaysia going to be the what I call it, the huge and #1 of data center by 2028. And in 2023 and 2024, we received about 115 billion investment on data center and also for the human capital development. So that's how Malaysia moving on that. So I'm sharing with you, including the energy sector as well. Okay. So knowing all this one and why our governance is very important, so because we know that Malaysia, just now we are very strong on our governance because we're talking about we are strong on policy, we have put a lot of process, and we're also looking at assurance of how we're going to manage the AI. So we are focusing on governance. When they're talking about governance, AI governance, what is governance? So governance is a framework that how we're going to oversight between the AI and also the machine. Because now in the era of AI is more towards how we look at our relationship between machine, where because we are the one who train the machine, who is then assist us to do our day-to-day, increase our productivity. So that's the framework that we are coming out. So because of that, we have to look at the two, machine and human now. We have to provide the policy. We have to provide the standard. We have to provide the guideline, how we want to responsible, so that whenever we call it data scientists or our engineers, when they develop the AI, they must be responsible. And then how they monitor the AI. So that is all AI governance. And we have about, when we're talking about responsible AI, we have to talk about the ethics, So we have to, because with this ethics, then we can develop the trust. So if we don't have the ethics, so how we can assume that the people trust our AI system? So we look at the transparency, how our AI system that we design, train our machine is safe, it's not harm to us, not harm to our environment, it's not harm to our planet as well. And we have to make sure that AI system is fair. There is no bias. So information that we use is also is fair to everybody, because we mentioned AI is for all. And who's accountable for this AI system? It's say like this system is not meeting as what we want, who's accountable for that? And encroaching the privacy, for example, how we protect our privacy. So that is we're talking about AI, and we have to build out all this trust. And how we're going to align all this trust into our society. Because now they connect the innovation to the law, human rights, and also society. So we have to balance all this. So maybe along the way, my explanation, my use cases can give you more explanation on AI governance. So why AI governance is important? Usually we ask ourselves, what and who are we governed? What we know is it's not only AI system. When I ask most questions, people say, oh, because we train the machine, so that we have to govern the machine. But it's more than that, because whenever we train machine, yes, so we govern the machine, but we also have to make sure that our organization also be accountable. Because when we look at accountability, for example, people always ask, who accountable for the AI system? Example, like now, AI Act is coming, like EU Act, South Korea Act, and they're talking about accountability. If your system is not unethical, who's accountable for that? So based on our engagement and our consultation at the global level, we have determined accountable is like co-sharing accountability, because that's where we're talking about building the trust. So if the system related to the model, then developers will be responsible for that. If the unethical AI is related to the organization, because organization use that one, then the organization be accountable. So because of that, for example, accountability, when we're talking about in AI system, is a joint accountability. So this one example, and we also look at how are we govern it? How are we going to govern? How are we going to ensure that when we train the people is fair, is safe, You know, when we develop the what I call device, talking about health device, or maybe at the power plant, how we want to make sure that our is a safety. We can control that. It's not human. If we put a lot of data, is the system going to be overrule us, superposition us? You know, so this is the thing that we need to govern. So we don't want with the quantum AI, for example, now because they have huge billion of data being gathered, so they are better than the human. So how we want to ensure that we govern all this? So we look at the roles, responsibility, and we're also looking what are going to safeguard us. The culture, they're talking about who are friendly. If this AI system is failed, who be responsible, failure of the governance. So that's why they're talking about that one. So when talking about governance, we have to make sure somebody responsible. So now all the world is talking about responsible AI. Yeah, responsible is the development and the use of AI in the ethical manner. You know, so we are talking about transparency, the fair accountability I mentioned just now, and also the human-centric. Yeah, when talking about responsible, because when we train people, we have to know where is our limit that we want to when that one that we're going to ask the AI to perform on our behalf. Is it 100%? We want AI to perform, to do to job on our behalf, or we want example like in very critical. I know that in energy, it's very very critical situation as well, especially related to the plant. Do we want to give 100% to AI? You know, we train AI to make the decision making, or maybe 50%. So that's why we're talking about the human in the loop. So somebody must be responsible. Say like the engineers, they design that system. If they put the 50%, they give the machine to make a decision. If something happen, he will be responsible for that. Even though they bring it to the court, the machine cannot talk. So whoever make a decision, giving the 50% or 20%, they'll be responsible for that. The same goes to the privacy. Whoever giving the data, whoever using the data to train the machine, they must looking into the privacy of the data as well. You know, that means they got all the consent, because so many companies, including the what they call it, the face. The Googles and the rest, they've been sued because of the privacy. And during the election, they are so proud. They got a huge 1,000 million of data, but they forget about the privacy, and the company have sued them. So this is the thing that we have to look: safety, inclusiveness. Inclusiveness also important wherever we do but this one is more towards the machine, that whenever we do the decision, it must be fair. You know, we cannot leave anybody behind that. So the trust. So this is the principle of responsible to build the trust. AI is for good. You know, of course, it's not harm us. It's safety. We look at diversity, as I mentioned. You know, we look at AI risk mitigation. That's where whenever we have used AI, we look also the impact assessment. So impact assessment, we try to mitigate the risk. Yeah? So we look at the environment, and no one left behind. Yeah. Okay, so then from that one, we're talking about responsible AI. Now, what is the global approach, ACS? We need to start step by step. So we introduce the regulatory. So we look at the soft, what I call it, soft law, and also the hard law. The soft law example like the guideline, AI code of ethics. You know, we look into the standard, ethics standard. This one is considered soft law, because most of the country, they cannot simply jump into the to the law, because you know why, like Malaysia also, we are decided not to go straight to the AI, no, because we are end user. We have limited technology data, to look at the standard, AI standard, or to look at the law, because we are still we are the user. So we are not the technology provider. So we are limited of technology. So we have limited technology. So what are the use cases that we have? So we are adoption. So when we use, if something happen, we refer back to the developers. So now, since the government has pushing the technology development, so we also have to move towards the hard law as well. Yeah, so this we have to complement both, and we have to balance this. So just to share with you where are Malaysia in terms of AI governance, regulation achieved. So I'm sharing with you, maybe some of you is not aware, but all this information I have to make sure is has been assessed. You all can access. If you not believe after this, you can go to the Google, you can go to Mosty, you can go to My Digital, you can access all this information. If you are not aware, just go for the reading. This is very important document when we're talking about AI. So we have introduced the national AI ecosystem, and then we have signed the MOU with British HiCom. And then, for example, like R&D. So now we work closely with British HiCom because we are looking at all emerging technology. So both countries, we have come up with the example, the Sun funding. We put about 2 billion each country to look at the R&D. So we established the consortia, so now we have all the university. 60 university have signed and become a member for the AI consortia to support our national AI innovation. So I'm not sure whether Unit 10 is part of it, because this one is heading by UTM. Last April, our PM have launched this, launching together with faculty of AI in UTM. So the Prime Minister also have introduced the AI consortia for the nation, because Malaysia UTM is only the secretariat, but this consortia is for the nation. So we have China, because we signed MOU with the China Tsinghua University, because they are #1 in terms of AI in Asia. So Malaysia government has signed the MOU. We have invited the president. So we have, because they have 5,000 students on AI. So Unit 10 can take this opportunity if you want to know about AI governance, you want to know about ethics, because they have a lot of research that have been done to support AI ethics and governance. And we also have established Ministry of Digital. Everybody knows about that in 2023, because before this is all handled by Mosty. So we said it's very difficult for us to discuss at the ASEAN level, because most of the country like Brunei, Indonesia, Thailand, they have their Ministry of Digital. So now, because of that, in November 2023, we have our Ministry of Digital, because we hope by December, but I'm not sure December, maybe next year, ASEAN going to conclude the DEFA, Digital Economics, framework, regulation framework. So to all the ASEAN country. So we have our Cybersecurity Act, because Cybersecurity Act is very crucial to support AI in terms of safety, in terms of privacy, So we in August 2024, we have this act. So you all can access to the act. We also have introduced National AI Governance of Ethics in September 2024. So we have launched the public sector AI guideline, because one of the barrier is when it comes to train AI system, we know that we need accurate data. But if the government, within government, we're not talking about the private yet, we're looking at the government, because government have huge data. But if government not sharing the data, so how we can get accurate data? So because of that, they have public sector guideline for data sharing. And on top of that, also we have come out with the Omnibus Act, so that this is the act that sharing data within the government, within the ministry. So all the more than 20 over ministry, they have to share the data now. So if you're not aware about that, it's good for you to look at this Omnibus to support the data sharing within the government. Now, more at the global level, now majority of the country and also at the regional level, we look how we can share the private data as well. Example, like in energy have private companies, especially multinational company, they have huge data that we can share with the government as well. So now we look, because you look at data protection, even though we have do the amendment in October, still talking about data protection, but we're looking at the private for individual data protection to protect the individual. Now we also in the country, also like in US, especially in California, they also have looked at the data protection for the private sector as well. How a private can share with the government, and what are the ownership, what are the IP that the private also can look into that. So, and we also have the national cloud policy, and we also have online safety. So for the last 4 years, a lot of things they have done for AI governance regulation, that this one is also can apply to the energy, and also can apply to Unit 10 as well. Yeah. Okay, so when we look at this regulation, we look what are the value of AI system. What are the value we want from this in terms of value of fairness, autonomy, or well-being? How do we know our system is in fact inequity, inclusion, and how it in fact the meaning of our life. Example, like we're talking about the war now. Everybody is scared, but with the AI who give the instruction, maybe they can destroy the country within second. So this is why what value of system can or AI assistant that we want for the not for our organization, also for the global and also for the regional. So we're looking into the regulation horizon. So what we do now, every national level, ministry level, national level, and also regional level, they're looking into the harmonization of the standard. How we can harmonize all the standard. So because of that, we're talking about the ethics. What is real ethics? People talking about ethics. So for me, ethics is referred to the principle that govern, I mentioned just now, AI behavior in terms of the human value. How whenever we train the machine, what are the value, the human value? That's why human-centric or human in the loop is very crucial. AI ethics help us to ensure when we develop AI, we use AI, is benefit to the society. So this one, SAP, IBM also emphasize on the society. So my concern, I like to highlight the Stuart Russell. He's mentioned nowadays for us now, the problem is when talking about ethics, urgent problem is today is not limit to development of AI. Our urgent is how we want to make sure whatever we plan, whatever we train our machine, they do whatever they want. That's what we want. Because we are the one who train the machine. If the machine did not do what we want, so what happened? Then will become the unethical risk. So this is our concern now. When talking about ethics, we are not talking about technology. Technology, okay, we can look about R&D, we look at commercialization. But when we talk about ethics, how we want to make sure that the machine that we train do and perform what we want. So if they do and perform what we want, so we are not have worried about unethical risk. So everything is considered ethical. So here what we're talking about in articles and ethical risks, benefit to the society. And 9 out of 10 organizations have experienced when they use AI, AI ethics, they experience an ethical risk. Because when we develop the AI system, maybe the designer or data scientist, they are not working together. They use the data. But to be the ideal part, that means whoever developed AI system, they have to get what they call it participation from all the experts. If you're talking about example, I'm just giving like human resource. All the organization have human resource. So when they develop the human resource, just simple one, they're talking about performance of the staff. So that means not only the scientist, not only the designer, the human resource who involved in the performance appraisal have to be the leader. Based on their experience, based on the data, they must work closely with the data scientists. So that is the ideal, so that we can mitigate all the risks, because they know the system, they know where are the data to be used. Because data scientists do not know whether the data is accurate or not accurate. But whoever in the human resource, they know which one is accurate data to use. So I would like advice to you all, when we're talking about AI, when we train the AI, please get a total engagement from the expert. So if you're expert in, example, predictive maintenance, so somebody who expert in that have to be together with the engineers, or together with the data, or maybe he's the one who trained the machine. He have to consider all the principle. So example, this is the real example I'm giving you. We're talking about unethical, false positive. It's a false, but it's positive. What happened to that? For example, in AI, we predictive cancer, or maybe we predicted preventive in the energy. We apply to energy when it did not have it. Example like the patient, you go to the hospital, because we're talking about safety, to everybody, because we are the patient. We're going to be the patient as well, not now, maybe in future. Somebody said you are having cancer or you're having something, but at the end of the day, you did not know you did have it. So pity the patient in terms of their moral, in terms of their reputation, and also the expenses that you spend to do the treatment. Who we want to blame? So if we depend 100% on AI, so we have to look into this. Even though it's positive to us, we're happy we are not having cancer, but the time and our consciousness and our time on the treatment, so this is the thing that we have to look into that. Identify the criminal worst. So it's a person, they are very, we depend on AI to make decision. We depend the court using all the AI data. So at the end of the day, after 3-4 years, we can see that person is they not a criminal. So what happened to the, especially like risk. And then we look at also the children. So it's talking about the danger to the children. So this thing considered. How about the false negative? Did not detect the wheelchair. For example, I'm talking about traffics, and then whoever designed, we forget to put the wheelchair. Wheelchair is part of the vehicle. So when it comes to the crossing, now this may be the oldest people, or maybe those are not feel well, they're using the wheelchair. But when we design, the designer forget to include this as part of the wheelchair. So when it comes to the autonomous car, the AI cannot take action. So who we want to blame? So I'm giving this example because I'm using the day-to-day example, so that when you do at the energy sector, you can apply this simple, but what happened to that? So if you did not understand, what you're using, your voice, so what you're going to do. So this is the thing as well. And then also now they're using AI to call when come to the, what they call emergency, but they're using example that the man voice. They forget about the fairness. If there is a woman voice, so what happened to that? Now we have languages. Example, they use English language, and suddenly you call that is using Malay language. So AI only take, now we have more than 7,000 languages, and internet can take about 135 languages. So what happened to all this? So this is a thing that we have to look when it comes to the AI. So we look at social, the fraud. Just now I just mentioned to you that the cybersecurity, Royal Malaysia mentioned that in 2024, 35,000 scam, losses, because they use the voice. Happen. They said they have the voice from the vice president, ask them to withdraw the money. At the end of the day, it's somebody else, somebody voice. So it's happened. And then also last September, for the last 9 months, we have 47 cases, 192 billion. So you can see that, because maybe we are one of the cases that been scammed. So this is the thing there. So due to all these ethics problem, unethical, and also at the global level, through my engagement as well, since 2016, OECD have developed the AI governance. So you can access to all those lecturers. If you are a lecturer here, if you want to talk about AI governance, you can access to Japan have introduced in 2016 ethics principle. Same goes to OECD. OECD comprised of more than 28 country members. They have sit down and they look at AI ethics. They have 5 or 6 principles on AI. UNESCO 2021, where I also part of it, we involved in Paris. We have a discussion with 190 countries. So we introduced the AI ethics. So this is the first standard, AI standard that we introduced by 190 countries. So where is then we have Japan, we come out with the framework of Hiroshima AI, so all this talking about AI ethics and the framework. You can see huge various of ethics framework. Maybe for Malaysia, when I go to when I do the assessment, most of ministry, they have limited knowledge on ethics. So I'm giving them a lot of the document. I mentioned to them, please refer to this one. Don't start all over again. Not for something that's the country, the world have a lot of framework. Please adopt and modify it to your sector, to modify it to what, in example like energy as well, at university level as well. There's a lot of framework that you can use and just leverage on that. So in 2024, when I'm heading this one, mostly I mentioned to mostly we need to AI guideline for the people who have developed AI guidelines, and on the ASEAN level as well, because just now I mentioned to you about 1 trillion GDP. So ASEAN have to do something about that. So we developed the ASEAN AI roadmap, so that all the 10 countries can work together so that we can leverage, or we can also ensure that we can get the cakes, if not 10% or maybe 20% from the 1 trillion. And then we come out with the ASEAN AIGE. So we introduced in 2024. In 2025, you notice that we have generative AI. So we have included the ASEAN AI, generative AI policy as well. So Unit 10 and also all of you can access to this document. You just key in the Google, you can get all this document on my screen. Yeah. So this one I showed to you, OECD principle, talking about the 5 value of the principle, AI actors who are very responsible for that, and they come out with 5 policy recommendation. So you can look into that. And UNESCO, This is the first global standard. This one, if you need any, not now because we only have 1 hour. I try to rush. I'll try to cover all. But you need to. We have 11 policy area. If you are related in the energy sector, we can sit down together. We can look at the policy sector, and we also can look at They have introduced the 10 principle. And so this policy area, we look into the data governance, environment, ecosystem, gender, education, research, health, and social well-being. Yeah, so we look into that. So we have all the core values. So when we develop this recommendation of ethics, we look at 8 core value. We look at the harmonization of the standard within UNESCO, because you can see now with Japan, with ISO 9000, 42000, and also how we harmonize all this. And we're also looking at human rights, that we want to make sure that people is safe, harm, and we're also looking at the trust, and we're also looking at global and cross-border, because you understand that AI is cross-border, interdiscipline. So when we develop AI, it's not only Malaysia. The data is cross-border. It's from all over the world, So how we want to ensure the data they use from Thailand, is ASEAN, for example, the data from Thailand, the data from Brunei, or data from Vietnam can be accepted cross-border. How we can accept all this data into our AI system. So this is the thing that we have to look the core value into that, and look at the education capacity, because education is very important. So because I'm quite happy when we introduced in 2020, there's a limited people know about AI, but after working closely with AWS, we work closely with MyDigital, with MOSTI, and also with MOHE. So now more than 222,000 teachers have been trained on AI. And then more than 10 million students aware about AI. And the grassroots also, we have the AI Rakyat untuk Rakyat. They also have government also have introduced this. So with that, I can see Malaysia, they are quite aware about AI. Yeah, so we have to look into that. Okay, so next one, this is what I mentioned just now. You can go if you are sorry. This one is launched by Deputy Prime Minister, but if like some of them, I'm not surprised. Some of them, this is the first time they see. In fact, they have the guideline for end user. We are the end user. I purposely mentioned we have Part A. What is our obligation as end user? For example, we don't want as an end user, we are too dependent on AI. What happened to our children? It's happening. It happened now in US, in South Korea. The children killed them himself because too depend on AI. Because they depend on AI, so every day with AI, after 6 months or 7 months, AI really can understand the person, because AI, they look into the history. So the more you put in, the more they know, understand about you, and become your friend. So he asked, because this 14 years old student in US and one of them in South Korea, because too dependent on AI, and the parent also is not unlocked. The parent also is not aware about AI, leave it all 100% to the children. So children doesn't know to go for advice. So they 100% depends on AI. So he give one question to AI, I'm under stress, what I should do. So the answer from AI, based on this is the real court case, the AI giving an answer, please kill yourself, because there will be a second world. The second, we believe, because frequency of the data given, because certain religions, they believe after the death, you can have another new world. So that's the answer from the ChatGPT, and the children kill himself. So what happened to that? So we have put everything, the end user, we have the policy, like you all, those are the policy makers involved in the policy for energy sector, what we should do as a policy maker, enforcement, we're looking into the regulation, into the act, and also developers, especially like the researchers, technology provider for the energy sector, what is your role? So we have put everything into the, okay, so for Malaysia, like UNESCO, they have 10 principles just now, but for Malaysia, when we have the town hall, I do call for the town hall, I call for the engagement with thousands of people. So we have decided, based on Malaysia requirement and also our constitution, Malaysia have adopted 7 AI principles. So whenever engineers, data scientists, be aware, whenever you develop the AI system, you have to comply to this. That means your system must be fair. AI must treat individual and the group equality. There is no, and then avoid the unfair. If not, it's considered unrisk. reliable, safety and control. Your system should be designed to avoid harm, protect the user. Looking into that, there won't be any risk or misuse. Privacy, make sure our AI system must respect personal data. Ensure the lawful ethics. Inclusivity, because like in Malaysia, for example, we have races, we have Chinese, Indian, Malay, and also languages. We have Kadazan, we have Tamil, we have Chinese Mandarin. Whenever we design, we have to consider that everybody understand our system as well, inclusiveness. And then also Islamic, we have to look at other religions as well. Example, like sometimes we look at system, AI system is not fair to the certain religious. So we have to look into that because it's all developed by the Western. Western, maybe they're more toward the Catholics belief. But we are Malaysia, for example, we have our constitution, we have Islam. So when we train the machine, we have to make sure they also comply to our religious as well. Accountability, as I mentioned just now, we have to look at who's accountable. That's where the human in the loop. When we look at the design, human overlook, we have to look into that. And also transparency. When it comes to transparency, where we get the source, traceability. So make sure whenever we train, when we talk about the data, we have to know what are the source and where are the source. That is traceability. We're talking about transparency. They start with traceability. Our data can be traceable. Who are the one? From where we got all this data? And then accuracy of the data. When are the period? Where is it 5 years, 10 years, or reason? That means we have to put all those to be transparent. Where we have to look at the big data management when talking about transparency. And we look at explainability. So what is anything happen to our AI system, we be able to explain. So that is definition of transparency. We have all the evidence. So last not least, we have to make sure the human centered. So this is for Malaysia and also for the ASEAN. So this is all the soft, I mentioned, the soft, what I call it, the soft regulation I mentioned just now. So we also have to, we have involved in the standard in 2022 when we launched our 2021 when we launched our AI roadmap. We understand that standard is very important, and ISO 1000 also have introduced the standard. So Malaysia is the P members. So because we are not going, that particular time, we are not going to develop our AI standard because we don't have much development technology. So we are end user. So because of that, we want to understand, we want to learn from them. So we have established our ISO technical committee involving university, involving the industry, government agency. So we help the ISO 42000. So we have developed 33 published. So now everybody from energy, if you want to have the standard or have list all the standard now, you can access to all the standard. Management system standard for AI, trustworthiness standard, we have all those standard. You're talking about trust, build the trust. You can purchase the standard. I think it's less than 100 and 120. You can use it, and the library also can have AI trustworthy standard. So we have that. Now we're coming out with another 36 standard. So we're looking into that. So Malaysia is become P member. So by 2030, we hope that we can have our AI standard. Because I believe telecommunication, maybe energy, we are ready to come out with Malaysian AI standard. Yeah. So, and then when it comes to this standard, and then now all the country have introduced AI Act, EU have started in 2020, and in 2023, they have, shared their EU standard with us, and they're giving us 18 months to be familiar with their standard. So their standard is complied to the risk, unstable risk, high risk, and low risk. So if your AI system, because they consider safety, they consider safety control, and also they consider the transparency, accountability is very high. But if your AI system doesn't have this one, they consider unacceptable risk. Those are minimum risk is okay. They can bring to the organization for you to verify. But those are unacceptable risks. We mentioned that South Korea also launched in 2025 their act. They mentioned that when you do the testing validation and in the sandbox environment, make sure you have all this evidence. You have to show to them. If you fail to have the transparency, you know how much is the punishment? 30% of your return of investment. If you are from energy business, sometimes you get 20% also because it's high investment, 20% is good enough. But if the penalty is talking about 30%, so it's considered what happened, close the shop, am I right? So this is not from me, this is from the clause that have been introduced. So if you have time after this, you can go to you Google, or you can go to any. It's free. It's open up. They have the South Korea Act. They have the EU Act for you all to look into that and try to be familiar with that. Okay. So I have no time to go detail on that, but they came to Malaysia for about a week and they trained us to be familiar with their EU Act. Same goes to the Korea as well. And another one recently is Canada. And also Brazil. So they look into that. I think now more than 11 countries, they're going to introduce the AI Act. So because why they choose risk? Why when they go for approach of the ethics, they go for the risk? Because they consider AI risk is possible that AI system can cause harm. So that or fail to meet the objective. So the risk can determine, can define whether you are low risk, high risk to the people. They look at 3 elements in the act. They look at the risk for the technical, that whoever when we design, ethic, legal issue, privacy, discrimination, and they're also looking at the societal impact. So they have decided 4 area that is considered is very high risk, that is related to education, related to health, related to defense, and also related to the harmful of the people. So this one is considered a high risk. So it's very important. So why governance is matter in energy? Because I mentioned just now, but now I bring you all to the energy environment. Why it's very important, it's very crucial, because having energy sector or your university example, you must have a clear policy. You must have a clear control, and you also must have your human in loop mechanism when you develop your AI. And you have to ensure AI system, you have regulatory. If you don't have the legal, at least you have your existing regulation, or you have your guideline, or you have code of ethics. Most of the country, or most of the organization now, they have the code of ethics. So I advise them to embed the AI ethics into their existing code of ethics. So for example, we have done for telecommunication, they have the code of ethics. So we have sit down last November. So now telecommunication and multimedia, they have the first ministry have come out with the code of ethics. So you can look into that. You can learn from the telecommunication industry as well, how they develop the code of ethics. They're looking into the government is not about compliance only. We have to look at the operation, excellent as well. Must be consistent and also must be trusted, public trust, so we can develop the data that we use, and then all throughout the life cycle of the what they call it, business. So why we're talking about the governance by design? So we have to embed the ethics. I mentioned to you just now, we're looking into the governance must be embedded at the beginning, okay, not at the end of it. So this is the thing, when we're looking at the framework, whenever we start, before we start to design that, we have to make sure all the data we have all those overview, the checklist, make sure the data that we're going to train the machine, we look at the fairness, we look at transparency, we look at the safety, we look at inclusivity before we train the machine. So that's why we're talking about design. So we have to design. So I came back from China. I learned from them, from the energy, because China have very good in the hydrogen. They have used hydrogen in the hospital. They have hydrogen through in the schools, in the hotel, buses, all they use hydrogen. And then they adopted AI. In the building, for example, I mentioned to them how long you take to build up the tallest building using AI. They just mentioned only 6 to 8 months. Malaysia, we took us about 3-4 years, because they said they go for governance by design. They design everything. They make sure they use AI. AI help them. They look into the fairness. They look at the data, everything. Once they have everything, the government, whoever responsible, endorse that, then they can start within less than 1 year. They have the building ready. They have the plan ready. So if you want to have a partnership with them, you can come back to me. I can introduce you to all those company in China, also in Australia. They have adopted AI governance by design, like CSRO Australia. I work closely with them as well. When I'm talking about talking about Malaysia, because I'm part of it. So they have put the governance AI design approach. They do a document decision, because they want to train the machine. So the document is considered document decision. So everything is a decision made before somebody must endorse make a decision before the machine can be trained. And then they look at the transparency, who accountable for this, where are the source, where are the, so practical governance policy, data quality, practical framework, AI governance policy, that, and then look at the model and standard. We look also at the monitoring, monitoring, evaluation, and also we look at the audit. So I believe audit is very important, audit mechanism. This one we're talking about the impact assessment, AI impact assessment during the audit. So the audit we're doing both, one during the testing validation at the sandbox environment, and when we want to develop the AI, another audit when we have adopted the AI. So what are the impact to the AI? Yeah. So based on all my engagement for the last 4 years with the government, with the company, industry, energy, I'm talking to the agriculture, we're talking to Ministry of Health. I'm also helping now Ministry of Health to develop defense, to develop their blueprint. So this is their concern on AI governance and ethics, awareness on AI and ethics. So now I'm quite happy. I have done my part. I've shared with all those experts here, the lecturers, the students, and also in the energy, in the university level. At least you're aware about AI. You know where are the documents that you can access. At least awareness level have been. I hope this session is considered awareness level as well. Yeah. So you get all this information. You can also the document I shared with you. You can learn from there. Buy-in from the stakeholders, because they said they don't trust AI. So because of that, now if we build up the trust, then they can increase the trust. If we inculcate the, what they call it, 7 principle, so I think they can buy in. They understand we are very transparent to them. We are very fair in terms of data, so we can increase the buy-in, get the buy-in from, because now I think if we're talking about the banking business area now, they also want to put the AI principle as well, because in order for you to get for the finance, they want you to show your responsible of the technology as well. So now banking also moving toward the responsible AI. Institution support, because the institution itself is not familiar. Just I mentioned to the roadmap that, from the assessment I did, majority of the ministry, they are very limited knowledge on AI ethics. They are not, they know what are definition of it, how to measure that, and what are the metric they use, and what are the impact. They are not familiar with that, because we don't have the champion who are really certified. That yes, I'm certified. I know what to do. Now we are limited for the whoever can certify in terms of the AI ethics. So I'm very limited on that. So we're looking into the ownership data, because this is very, you all have to look into this. I'm looking with the SCSRO Australia, with the agentic AI, quantum AI, who we don't know who are the ownership of the data. Because everybody, the algorithm is using data from everywhere, from the YouTube, from the voice, from the meetings, from data. When they have all this data and then they come out with the new, so who's accountable for that? So now they are talking about the right to use rather than ownership. So this is a thing also, maybe energy can look into that, how we can look at ownership of the data. Another issue, because everybody want to be on, because when talking about, you're not sure about the ownership. So if something happened to the AI system, who's accountable for that? Because we do not know who are the owner. So because of this, we have to look into and funding and infrastructure, because for Malaysia, I'm quite happy we are receiving more than 110 billion, on the data center. So we hope that we can increase further, but incentive. So we don't, SME, for example, SME also asking for the incentives. So we look at the Sustainability AI Ethics Center. Like in UK, in Australia, they have established the AI Ethics Center. But in Malaysia, we don't have the AI Ethics Center yet. So risk bias, cybersecurity risk, lack of transparency. So this is how the risk, when we're talking address the risk. So we're looking into this risk as well. With the great capability, I hope if we train the people, then we can reduce this. We can use the bias prediction. Inaccurate of prediction, especially like predictive maintenance now, AI-powered predictive maintenance, that one can help us to reduce the bias, lack of transparency. So, and then we're talking about the leadership. So now I hope that the management of UNITEN and also all the leaders from the energy sector, you must have a strong leadership. It's very in deciding what are the factors that to adopt this responsible AI. We need to have the ethical culture in the organization, so that we have to have a lot of awareness program, awareness talk, and then we also must have a research, because we have limited research now. So the leader now, please encourage all the student, the lecturer to do a lot of research on ethical. So during the budget session, government has given a lot of budget on the to do a lot of research, to look at the transparency, responsible innovation, all the AI system, and we look at the long-term trust. So back to the budget in 2026, government have come out 5.6 for the R&D, commercialization, and also for the connectivity. And then we put 13 billion for the investment for the responsible AI adoption. So now the allocation has been there. So now we want all the university, we want all the expert now working closely together to beef up our AI standard. So I'm happy to share with you through my engagement when we do the assessment, more than 6,900 new jobs in AI. And 50% of our corporate leader now, because of ESG, talking about the environment, talking about the social and governance, AI is part of governance. So they have pilot 50% of the corporate, they have pilot the AI ethics and governance. Yes, they look into that. So this is my last slide. The way forward, I'll share with you all. I hope is it 1 hour, 1.5 hours, Dr. Mohamad, or I take more time? Yeah, after this we can go for the session, Q&A session before we end my session. So this is the way forward that I would like to share with you all. Adopt flexible risk-based framework. We have to look at the regulation must be, so you have to understand, everybody here, look at the guideline, look at the standard, look at the act. Once you understand all this one, then you can come up with the framework. Don't just jump to the framework without knowing what are the guidelines, what are the code ethic of SA, and how the relationship between the machine and the organization. So align that into the global. Because why we're talking about the global? Because data, AI is about data. So data is coming cross-border, data coming from everywhere, from various interdiscipline. So because of that, when we come out with the framework, please we look at the interdiscipline and also the cross-border. And we have to promote responsible AI, promote the 7. So I have mentioned to you, just refer to the guideline, the one that we have developed, and you can help us to promote the responsible AI. So we look at investment, especially the skill. So because of that, now for 2026, government putting 3.6 billion for the skills and also upgrading. So once you have given AI to do part of your job to assist you, then you have time to do at the value added. So when you want to perform value added AI adoption, that's where you have to upskill and reskill yourself. And then public-private partnership, collaboration, and then for the last 4 years, through my engagement as the head of governance, I managed to come out with more than 50 MOU with China. We have through MOSTI, and then we all can access, when we look R&D, you can access to all this information to collaborate. Collaboration. They are ready to collaborate with all the university, collaborate with the government as well. So we have to build institution capacity. Just now, like we don't have the AI at the ethics center. Maybe you want to develop AI ethics center, maybe at the library level or at the research level. Maybe you can think about that. And then foster the public-private dialogue. A lot of dialogue like this, like today, even though Saturday, I can see you're willing to share. Willing to sacrifice your weekend to listen to the dialogue between the public, within the government. So I think with that, I hand over to our MC members.
Okay, thank you, Prof, for your value session and the presentation. I will open the Q&A session for any question from the audience.
Yes, if you allow me. I have 1 request and 3 questions, please, Professor.
Yeah, try to do it slowly. Try to make it
yes.
Okay.
First of all, I would like to thank you for the fruitful session. I really gained a lot, especially because it touched the type of responsibilities I have in my work and in my research at the university. My request is, if it is possible, can we have the slides, please? And for the questions, question number 1 are, what are the basic steps to develop a corporate strategy for AI? And the second question is, does ISO 42001 is a good base to start for assuring AI governance at a corporate? And the last question is, what are the useful resources to know more about AI, especially for market and economy, for us as students? Thank you.
Okay. Can I know your name, my dear?
My name is
Okay.
Rahma
Can I
Al-Bahri.
I stop sharing, yeah? Then I can see all
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Can I get your name, please? This part
My name
of
is
so that I
Rahma
can.
Al-Bahri.
Okay.
Rahma
So in
Al-Bahri.
future, you can at least you know me and I know you as well. Yeah.
Yeah, inshallah.
Okay, the slide I will talk to definitely I talk to the unit 10. Yeah, I'm sharing with you all. Okay.
Thank you.
The collaboration, maybe what you can do, the Prime Minister have launched the Consortia, AI Consortia in April last year. So you can be part of the Consortia. So now we have more than 60 university. I'm not sure whether Unit 10 is part of it. Yeah, maybe Unit 10 can be part of the Consortia. So that this Consortia, we're looking into the R&D and we see looking a lot of what they call it, more towards the applied. More toward the applied research as well. So like you all as researchers, it's good for you to be part of it. It's a combination from the government agency, companies, and also the society. You know, we also have a big society association AI association as well, and we're also involving the international and international expert as well. So my suggest for a start, maybe you can look into maybe Unit 10 can take opportunity to register your interest to be part of the Consortia. Now, I think more than 60, you can increase that. Then from that, you can access to all the information. And this Consortia also, they have organized a lot of conferences, a lot of sharing knowledge. You can share with them as well. So that is that is part of the roadmap. National AI roadmap. So another one, you're talking whether it's the best. Okay, for your information, 42,000, I think standard have been there for more than 60 over years. You know, standard is voluntary. So AI is we look at AI is a very crucial, not only now, for the next 50 years, for example, because AI is part of the technology. Maybe now we're talking about technology, but now with all those quantum AI, maybe with the superposition of that one, so our standard will be, we need to upgrade our standard as well. So for a start, and this standard also is voluntary. For reference, I would like advise you all to read. So if university can buy relevant, because we have 33, maybe out of 33, maybe the university, the library can buy at least 6 or 7 to be used by the student. Example, like 42,001, you can go to AI management system, because the standard help you to understand the whole system, AI system, management system. They're talking about the roles, everything. So I advise for a start, maybe the university can buy. I think maybe you can also have a Google, but Google is very brief, but they wouldn't give you very comprehensive one. And also maybe you also can live Unit 10 can also work closely with Department of Standard. Because in Malaysia, Department of Standard Malaysia is the one who's accountable for. So if you want to, sometimes they offer a lot of series of workshop, you know, with the university, with the company. Maybe you all can you can be part of it, because we also encourage all the university also to be part of it. And that come to them. So there is no best or not best. Okay, when it comes to the standard, is good for your reference, because example just now I give you 33. I think maybe we also have a standard on risk management. Because just now we're talking about risk management, so we work closely with America. America have established 2000, talking about risk management. So for AI, we adopted 27 risk management 2700, and then we work closely with National Standard of America. They have this standard, so you can access to, when talking about the risk impact assessment, you can adopt to that one. And for your information, AI is not new. AI derived from computer science. Am I right?
Yes.
So we have a lot of standard on computer science. So what we decided, some of it we adopt from the IT standard. Yeah, so whoever is like trustworthiness, yes, AI, IT is not address the trustworthiness. Then we develop the trustworthiness. So the trustworthiness or AI trustworthiness is quite new. So you can access to that. So we have developed the. So this one maybe. We're talking about digital trust. Maybe Unit 10 can invest and can talk to Department of Standard Malaysia. You all can purchase either online. So if online is better, so that all the students can access the online standard. So this is what you can start on the standard. And last thing, talk about AI market. So when talking about the market, everything, you know that we have the National AI Office under the My Digital. We have established last December, and December 2024 and 2025, we have organized a lot of ASEAN, because I think we have more than 200 events for this year, and the majority of this event they address AI, and I've been talking to many agency, many event about AI. So it's good you talk to AI market to look at where are Malaysia at the moment in terms of because I mentioned just now we have 5 sectors, 5 sectors. But if you look at MOSTI, Ministry of Science and Technology, and you look at our Ministry of MITI, we look at the industry master plan. We have more than 10 socio-economic. Beside this, we look into the tourism as well. We look into the energy, sector energy. Yeah. So you can look at that as well. Yeah. So yes, this is the some of the information that I can share with you. I think it's quite comprehensive.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. So, are we allow another question? So what time that we have here? Am I okay? Yeah, we have half an hour, or maybe depends if everybody understand, everybody get all the knowledge. What I want to know that you are aware, you can absorb some of the knowledge I'm sharing with you all. That is good enough. And then we can hand over to MC. MC maybe can conclude the session. So I'm supposed to finish by 4:30, but now we are at 3:55. We have half an hour, or I leave it to the MC.
Assalamualaikum, Prof. Diana here.
Yes, Diana.
I have a question here. It's more on the sub goals is on public service, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how is the readiness index can portray the public service readiness as a whole?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So when you're talking about the public service, okay, that's where public service, we're talking about to build the trust. Yeah. So we cannot, when we think about it as a student as well, if you are, say, maybe a lecturer, we try to make it helicopter views. When we're talking about the public trust, what are the key elements to build the trust? The key element to build the trust is the 7 principles. Yeah, you need all the 7 principles. Yeah, you're looking into the fairness. If you are fair, if your AI system, the one that you're going to use or you're going to adopt is fair, that one you can build the trust. Yeah, so that's why we emphasize on. And second one, we're talking about the safety. If our AI system is safe, we can control. It's not over, Is there, and whatever we do, we know where we control the machine itself. We are very safe. We are confident it's safe. So if the system we use, then we build the trust. So the third one, we're talking about the privacy. So if we ensure that whatever data that whoever going to train, going to use the data, we get a consent. An example like Ministry of Health, our patient data. So we have to make sure all they have a proper mechanism to make sure the data being protected. So the people will build the trust. Same goes like finance department or banking department. So inclusiveness. So when we look at the data, we're also looking into the urban, to the rural, into the gender. We're not only one-sided. Okay, maybe energy, the business always is the man, conquered by the man. We forget about the woman. We have a lot of women in the energy sector as well. But when it comes to the decision, we depends on the man, because men always always the one who conquer the energy. So in AI, you have to make sure everything must be inclusive. And we have to look into the human centric as well when we make decision, that we are accountable for that. Accountability and transparency. So with all these key elements, then we look at the public trust just now. We're talking about the society trust. So it's all related. So if we don't have all this, and the government, that's why on top of that, if you look at Malaysia roadmap, if you have time, you can look at the roadmap. We purposely emphasize it, make sure is AI, this roadmap, this is direction for Malaysia, should be balanced, so that we can build the trust, public trust. That means the more our country can develop the AI, like university, you all help the company develop our local, because all the while our technology is all considered international, multinational. If we can look at the small language, language, and then we can look into our own localized. All this data is ours, and when our data center is ready, we can look at severity of our data. That means the data is belong to Malaysian, not belong to other, so all our expert can be protected. So from this we can build the trust. Not only build the trust, the government of Malaysia also can get revenue, return of investment. And when people trust also, they can increase the adoption. The adoption of everybody will use the data. So that's when we're talking about, we have to look at the whole factors when we're talking about the public. Of course, last not least, I can mention to you, I would like, I'm happy, congratulations to Unit 10, communication. Dissemination of information is very crucial. So through the communication, through the engagement, total engagement, then we can build the trust as well. So is it answer to you, Diana? Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So any other question, my dear? Most of you are students, or you are lecturers, student, or you are companies?
Majority students.
Okay. You are degree student, master student, PhD student?
Postgraduate.
Graduates. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe for graduate it's more towards awareness, yeah. So like masters and PhD, they're more on the R&D. So I can emphasize more on R&D, all the research that they have to do. But the student, maybe you can look into more on the understanding. Now I want the education. You all as student, in AI era, you have to change yourself to be more strategic thinking. Yeah. Whatever you ask your question, you ask your lecturer, what happened this, what happened this. So the more you engage in the class, more you question, because AI is something new and it's talking about relationship, machine and the human being. So you also have to understand how the algorithm works. And that is the student of AI. Yeah. So
Assalamu
Muhammad.
alaikum.
Yes.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum, Prof. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, dear.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your insightful session. Just I have two questions, Prof. First question is, how can we make AI more trustworthy and still keep sensitive data safe? And the second question is, who is responsible if an AI system make a mistake?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I did mention everything just now. That's in fact that's supposed to be my 1 hour talk. I'm talking about that, how we building the trust. So now maybe you're not as a student, you're not captured the whole thing. I don't mind to repeat just now. That's why we want to build the trust. How we want to build the trust? That's why we have to start with the governance. So we need the governance system. So that's where the university must have the governance system, and then from this governance system, what I mean governance system, we must have a policy. At least if not policy, we must have a standard, or maybe we must have a strategy. Where are the strategy of Unit 10 in terms of AI? We have to start with that one. That is governance. And then if not, what are the guidelines? Because government of Malaysia have developed the policy, have developed the guideline, have developed everything. Maybe university can start from that one, to start with, at least with the guideline, or maybe with the code of ethics. From this one, when the student have the code of ethics of AI, so maybe the student understand what are the ethics that the university adopted when it comes to the AI adoption. So maybe university have to start with that first. The top management, that is the role of the leaders. The leaders just now I mentioned have to start with the policy. We have to start with the governance. And then when come to the who, like you yourself, you are a user, you have to ask, am I a user? I am a user, you have to start to the guideline, refer to the guideline. What is your obligation as a user? Do and the don't. First, example, I cannot say that everything is in the guideline. You can refer to the guideline, it's online. Example, like any user, where you want to start to build the trust, you yourself cannot share your data with anybody. If you share your data with everybody, somebody can use the data freely. That means you have to take the obligation not to share your data with anybody. That's one of it, you yourself. Another one example, I'm giving this example just now. You have to unlock yourself to upskill and reskill as a student. You have to know what are the new AI. First of all, you have to know what is AI. What is AI, benefit of AI, and then what I should do, how AI can help me, you know, and then what are, if you're a student, maybe you can understand also what are technology of AI now, you know, talking about deep learning, machine learning, we're talking about agentic AI, generative AI. So as a student, you should know that, because when you adopt AI, you can apply it, you know, when you adopt, oh, this is what they mean by deep learning, this is what they mean by natural language. So that's how you yourself, you know, when come to your question, back to the who's accountable for that. But if we are user, it's okay, we have to protect our data, we have to protect but when come to whoever develop the AI system, the organization must make sure whether the data scientists, whether the engineers, or maybe they work closely with the with the technology provider. No, they have to make sure that they have to comply to all the checklists just now I mentioned. Who, you know, that mean the privacy, the fairness of the data, the what they call it, the who accountable for that. So they have to do it before they train the machine. So once they have trained the machine, you know, if anything happen, you just mentioned just now, yeah, if the system fail, who responsible for that? So when come to who's responsible for that, we have to look at transparency. Just now I explained to you all at my slide, what are definition of transparency? Definition of transparency is the data can be traceable. What they mean traceable? You know where are the data coming from? Is it they using the old data? Maybe somebody, they don't clean up the data. The data is 10 years back, 9 years back. Of course, there is no accuracy of that. Who's are the one who released this data? Somebody accountable for that. And we know where are the quality of the data. You know, that's where then we know who to be responsible for that. And then we look at, when we come to that one, whoever the design, okay, since the data has been cleaned up, I assume has been cleaned up and somebody have endorsed the data and they hand over to data scientists. That when data scientists coding all that one, code all those programs, and when they have to make sure, data scientists have to make sure whatever the data, and when come to the responsible AI, we have to different into two, who responsible for that and who accountable for that. Okay, if the issue raised through the model, then the developers be accountable for that. But if, like university, you purchase the model, but you use it, you use a ChatGPT, you use anything else, the application, but you modify you key in based on your prompt engineering. You prompted the machine to do that. That is your responsible. Because the machine is only machine, but you are the one who give the input, give the prompt engineering. If your instruction is wrong, then they will give you the wrong result. So that means when it comes to accountability, we have to look at case by case and who responsible. But most of the time, when they bring it to the court case, they consider like for high risk, they call it joint accountability. Joint accountability, that means technology provider accountable, they are part on the model, and the organization accountable on the use on the instruction to the system. So they will combine together. Yeah, so that's my answer for you. Is it okay? Are you understand that?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I saw still one raise a hand. Dewey, do you have any question?
Again.
No, I think no
So there
question.
is no question, and I'm so happy. So the student can I'm not to say that this is not exam. So I hope the student have a little bit of knowledge. You aware about AI governance, why we need to govern, and you understand AI ethics and how AI Act is coming, what action that we have to do. At least you have that awareness level. And my advice to you all, try to go through all the document that I have mentioned to you just now. AI guideline, you can look at the roadmap, you look at the ASEAN, you can look at OECD, you can look at the UNESCO, huge information talking about AI governance. What I need is just do a little bit of reading. Yeah, from the reading, you can have a huge knowledge on AI governance and ethics. So if you need anything, you can call my company, Responsible AI, Institute Industrial of Responsible AI. We give a lot of training. We're also giving a lot of consultancy on how to go about this responsible AI. Yeah, not only for Malaysia, we also can look into the regional and also looking into the global as well, because I'm being appointed by UNESCO to become their expert for the global, for the South country as well. So now I'm training the government public service from Indonesia, from Philippines, from Africa country, so we share the knowledge as well. So so the student also can please can call me, and then you have the slide just now. You can, in fact, you also can go through my LinkedIn. I'm sharing a lot of information as well. You can subscribe to my LinkedIn. We can start our collaboration. Okay. With that, I hand over to our MC, so I end my session today.
Yeah, I think Dr. Rizwan, do you have any comments?
No. No question, Dr. Sudari.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So as we bring this session to the close, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to Prof. Hani Susanna for her insightful and thoughtful, provoking presentation. Thank you, Prof, for sharing your knowledge, experience, and vision with us today. Your contribution have enriched our understanding and inspired us to approach AI adoption with the greater awareness. Also, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and dear students, as we conclude today's session, I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to all for your active participation. So we hope today has sparked new ideas, strengthened your perspective, and open pathway for deeper learning and cooperation. With that, we close the Business Management Symposium 2025. Thank you once again for joining us, and inshallah we will meet again next year or next symposium for the Business Symposium 2026. Have a wonderful and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum. Bye all.
Assalam.